neighbors out there in the internet lands. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I am the host of this thing that we call You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. Welcome, 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 welcome. This week is the week of November 20th. That's the week that we are dealing with right now, 2025. And we've got a great interview for you today with Marie Kohler, who's a wonderful playwright and director and artist. And she wrote a play called Boswell that's over at Next Act Theater. And it's an interesting tale of how it got to the point of a Wisconsin premiere at Next Act. It's several iterations of this play, and it's just a really great story, and it's just a really great tale. And I really love talking to the great Madame Kohler about the arts, and so that'll come up in a few minutes here. But first, I'm going to talk to you about other things that are happening in the landscape of the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance, and some other opportunities you have to look at some things, and also some observations that you might want to take a look at. And so here we go with that intel. So first, we have The Murder Girl, and we had an interview with these fantastic people a couple weeks ago, a couple of the artists, Matt Bodger, if you're watching this on the internets, he's right there, and had a great interview with him and Joe Lino about the show, and now they have just sold out their first 3 weeks of shows, and so you're hard pressed. So they extended, so you can go and check out the extension week, because there are some seats left. And I guess people are just really into this whole whodunit of Murder Girl by Heidi Armbruster, who's having a bit of a moment. She's a playwright here. She's in Boswell at Next Act, and so just that girl is on fire. She is. And so the deal with this particular piece is that at Marty's Supper Club, everybody knows two things: just how you like your old-fashioned and which closet hides all the skeletons. Ha-ha! Back home for the holidays, Leanne is chock full of ideas to help her twin brother Eric keep their family business alive. But when a waitress drops a chilling revelation on the local news, their cozy Northwoods holiday plans tilt off their axis. So, secrets, survival, small town, all those things that you can check out, and you can go to MilwaukeeChamberTheater.org. That's a TRE, that's a theatre, to check out what tickets might be left and available for you to see that program. And so there you go. That's the first little doodad. And it's not a little doodad, it's a big doodad. To check out that. Then next we have the wonderful, the amazing, the glorious Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. A wonderful show. And if you check out the interview that I had with Michael Unger last week about this particular production, we have a little bit of a did it or did it not happen? Did I in fact see Michael Unger's wife way back in the day, way back in like 1992, was it? Did I see her in Minneapolis as the narrator in Joseph? I don't know. Did I or didn't I? So check out that interview as well. Back in the archives of this program. Joseph is their holiday program, so that's actually going to run through December 28th, so that gives me some time to get my butt in there, because I'm in fact going to go and see this, and then it'll be the fourth time that I have seen a production of Joseph in the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, because I think it's just hilarious. I like it so much. And so I'm going to go and see it again. So, okay. So if you haven't seen this show, it follows, yes, the biblical superstar Joseph, who is blessed with prophetic dreams, and it follows him through trials, tribulations, and his jealous brothers who in fact sell him into slavery. And so it goes through that whole thing, and how Joseph becomes a big deal, and all of this kind of stuff. It's a great show. And so if you want to check that out, go to smtmke.org. That's Skylight Music Theater, and that's also a theatre. smtmke.org to check out how you can purchase tickets at that venue. And if you don't know it, it's Milwaukee Chamber Theater and Skylight Music Theater are in the same building. It's the Broadway Theater Center, which is also where my company, the Constructivists, operate out of. And it's a great space. It's a lovely, and the theater that Skylight works out of, the Cabot Theater, is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful space. And it's just a great thing to look at if you have the opportunity to do so. So again, smtmke.org for that. And then we have the funny men and women of Interchange Theater Co-op. That's the improv persons, and they are of the funny mindset, and they have new shows every Friday and Saturday that you can check out. And so this week it is the Sherlock Files featuring Palindrome, and the game is afoot. The Sherlock Files is a fun-filled show featuring London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes, and his faithful companion, Watson. Each show is a new mystery for the pair to unravel, and you have a hand in crafting the adventure. That sounds awesome. And you all know what a palindrome is, yeah? Okay, Google it. No, just kidding. Scenes that expand, contract, and go forward and back again. Palindrome takes you on a loop of fun. So there is that, and that's tomorrow night. And then Broadminded on Saturday night. And Broadminded is Milwaukee's longest running sketch comedy troupe, Broadminded Comedy. And there's they're going to show you an all new set of short scripted comedy vignettes. So fun. And their opener, or I think that's what they have, is The Apocalypse, the group that is opening for them. So check that out. They also have an open mic on Thursday nights. They have that this Thursday, but next Thursday being Thanksgiving, they are off, as the vast majority of persons are. The vast majority of us are oh my Lord, are out spending time with the families and things, and Friendsgiving and things of that sort. So take the week off, all. And so that's what we got from Interchange. So you can go to Interchange Theater. That's a theater.com, interchangetheater.com for Interchange folks, the co-op that it is. Check that out. And then next we have, it is National Caregivers Month. And let's talk about Native American Heritage Month first. Let's do that. This month and throughout the year, First Nations celebrates how Native communities continue to grow and thrive, guided by deep-rooted knowledge, cultural values, and commitment to future generations. Native peoples across the country work every day to preserve identity, restore balance, and care for their assets and lands. And I found a great site for First Nations, firstnations.org, to learn more about Native American Heritage month of November, and find how Native Americans are filling the lives of people. There are educational webinars, there's events, there's opportunities to learn, and so please do that this month. It's a great resource, and there are a lot of persons who do not celebrate Thanksgiving and actually observe it as a day of mourning. And I'm sure you can find resources not only from First Nations, but other resources to find out why, if you've never investigated Thanksgiving as a day of mourning. I would encourage you to do that. So there's that. And then next we have Puerto Rican Heritage Month for the Puerto Ricans in your lives. I've got a really great artist who works with the constructivist, Emily Harris, who's proud of their identity as a Puerto Rican, and is a fantastic artist. And there you go. And so I found a really great sort of about November being Puerto Rican Heritage Month in a Substack, and it's from Giselle Rivera Flores Substack. So it was actually one of the higher results when I was doing research. So if you put in your search engine Giselle Rivera Flores Substack November Puerto Rican Heritage, I'm sure you can pull it up. But it was a really great read. It was a really great read. So check that out when you have the opportunity to do that. But it's a time to celebrate the history, culture, and contributions of Puerto Ricans. And it was first observed in New York City in 1998. So check out the celebrations of that culture if you can. And then last but not least, what I said before, but I took it back and now I'm putting it back, is National Family Caregivers Month of November. Man, just as a caregiver myself, it's a lot. It's a lot to care for your loved ones, and there are a lot of people who are not paid for the care that they provide. There's more than 53 million family caregivers who provide unpaid care in America, and that's an economic value totaling more than $470 billion of unpaid care. We should care for our persons, but again, it is work. It is work, and it would be great if we could all be paid something to provide that work, even for our family members whom we love very much. And so if you want to do a bit more research on that, I would suggest that you go to Parkinson.org. Because right now it's also lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, and Alzheimer's month, and that fits right into the Caregivers Month idea. And so go to Parkinson.org and check that out if you have the time and space to do that. And that's what we got. That's what we got today for you from the internets. Do a little bit of research in your life. Go see a show or two. I highly recommend the cathartic nature of seeing multiple shows in a weekend. I think it's a great way to support the arts community and get a laugh and a cry and all the other feels. All the other feels. So there's that. There you go. And so now I'd like to chuck it over to myself, the interview that I did with Marie Kohler. That was yesterday. We filmed that. So have a look at that. And here's a little more information about Boswell by Marie Kohler from Marie Kohler. With me today is the beautiful, wonderful, amazing playwright, artist, magnificent Marie Kohler. How are you today?
I am well, thank you, Jaimelyn.
Yay! You got your preview starting tonight of this
We
thing.
do.
When we're recording
this. Audience tonight. First preview.
Very exciting.
Tomorrow, and then opening on Friday. So it's suddenly upon us. You know how that happens. Yes,
you are in it. Yes. So Boswell is a new play, but it's an old play.
It's both those things.
It's both of those things. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about how this whole thing transpired to get you to this next act version.
I did the first iteration of this subject, Boswell's Dreams, when I was still with Renaissance, and that was in 2005. It's 20 years ago, believe it or not.
Wow.
Saying that to me. And it stemmed from my having kind of a passionate feeling about journals. I have built several of my plays out of journals, diaries. I find that, to me, kind of wonderful playwriting bricks and mortar. And I had first discovered these journals when I was a kid, a tween, I guess. In my family's home, we had a large library, and it was a lonely day, and I thought, what is to read? And I looked up, and there was a volume that had a pretty cover. In this case, I was smart to judge the book by its cover. So I brought it down. It had lords and ladies on the cover and carriages and old fashioned. I thought, oh, maybe it's a romance. And I opened it up, and it was not quite a romance. It was chock full of details, some of which were rather bawdy. And they were, it was this man, James Boswell's journal writing from the first time he hit London. And he talked about everything from the food he ate to the gentlemen and gentlewomen he met at coffee houses to the ladies he met in the green room at the theaters, and sometimes the ones in the alleys on the streets. And that really both shocked and fascinated me as a girl, really. And I just had no idea that world existed, and it just made my appetite even stronger to read more. And this is just when Boswell's journals had been discovered in an attic in Britain, and they were not published and not shared with the public because they were all revealing. And so they were secreted away, and the family was ashamed of them. But 200 years later, they discovered them, and the universities in the United States were like, give me them. How can I outbid Yale, University of Chicago? They were all like, who gets these? And Yale ended up with them. And in the 50s, they published 6 volumes, maybe more, of his journals that they had sent to print. And so I was, it's like early 60s. I found these in my parents' attic library and just ate them up like chocolate. And then years later, I studied some of this material in college and found that I've always had a really a compelling interest in narration, first-person narration, in voice. It struck me like a dramatic monologue in theater that a reader or an audience member could read through and figure out whether it was an authentic to be trusted information coming through that voice or not. And so I thought it would be great material for a play. And as I said, I'd written a play built on Catherine Mansfield's journals, and I'd written a play about Moll Flanders' journals, except those were invented by Daniel Defoe, but they read like a diary from the beginning till the end. So it was kind of like a natural thing for me to be drawn to. And Renaissance said, sure. And so I went at it. And that version of the play was much longer. It was about 2 hours plus. And it had 9 actors and got dozens of characters. So I stayed with Renaissance for about 20 years. And by the time it was time for me to go on my own path as a playwright, as a director, I just had things I needed to do. I thought, Boswell Streams, I should go look at that and see if I could compress it, turn it around, turn it into a play that would be small enough to take to the Edinburgh Fringe. So that's what I did. I dropped characters. I shrank it in size to 60 minutes because you have to, in Fringe, you have to be in and out. Like boom, 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 boom. It was really, and it was much more focused on the woman who discovered the material in this story. It became her play and her journey, as well as those of the Boswell and Johnson, who were kind of the subjects of her literary inquiry. And I fleshed out, I created a friendship partner for her in the attic of the Scottish castle. So it's really kind of mostly about friendship, the two men in history, and then the two men in the 1950s, which I consider, the two women, sorry, which I consider kind of the contemporary world of the play, even though it's not any longer, but in feel it is. It feels modern.
Right on. So yeah, so it's gone through, from what I understand, it's gone through about three turns now. The Renaissance, then the Fringe, and now.
Well, yeah, and then someone at the Fringe who was associated with an off-Broadway company called 59 East 59 Theaters saw it there and recommended it to their artistic director. So she called me up and said, bring it to New York. And so we did. And so again, I kind of went at it, but pretty much along the same lines. And now they're doing the same version, although my director said, let's add just a little bit of seasonal sprinkles to it. So I added a little bit of holiday stuff.
Which is great, which is what you can do when
you're the playwright. You can't do that to other people's plays, but you can do it to yours.
Please, people out there, do not do that to other people's plays.
Not without talking to the publisher and playwright.
Written authorization that you are allowed to do this. Yes. Well, that's fantastic. And so now you're here and you're opening in a couple of days, and your opening night is sold out because people are very excited about this piece, apparently. So yay, there's that. And you have the wonderful, amazing Laura Gordon directing your show. How has that process been working together on this piece with her? Because this has been a long process with her as well, yes?
Yes, this is her third experience directing the show. She co-directed it with me in Scotland, and then she did it in New York, and now she's doing it all alone. So it's interesting this time around because I'm not producing it. Next Act is producing it. I have the freedom to have some distance from it. I don't have to be at the tech. It seemed like not what I should do. I should pull back and let Laura and these actors do their thing without the feeling of me being like a helicopter playwright, thing.
Sure.
And I am one of those people who sees things and think, is that prompt right? Is that maybe we could change? And I did that a little bit. Laura gave me that permission, but then I thought I should kind of be more mature at this juncture and let them do this play that I wrote.
Because you could do that. You could just keep changing and changing and perfecting and perfecting and perfecting until the end of time.
Yes, and we all know that's not necessarily a healthy thing to do, personally. And also, she did give me. I'm welcome in the room. And we spent the first week together, where we examined the language and to see whether there were any problems and repetitions or things that could be improved. And I still get the notes at the end of the day from the stage manager, script. Can we say for instead of and? Can we say this line here instead of here? And yes, usually it's yes. Not always, but usually.
Sure.
So it's a different kind of involvement for me. And I think it's really great for us all.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your acting persons, your lovely actors who are
our actors in this show? You mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. Well, at the center are my husband, Brian Monty, who's playing Dr. Johnson, and we've got Josh Krause as Boswell. This will be the second time he will have done that.
Yes.
We've got a lovely new central character named Madeline Calais King, who Laura had previously worked with on a production of the play about Mozart.
Amadeus.
Maddie was her Constanza in Cleveland.
Great.
And thought really highly of her. And we auditioned with video auditions, and I thought she was excellent. And she's really, really lovely. I think she'll be a delight for Milwaukee audiences to see for the first time. She's never performed here before.
New person, new blood,
new person for producers and directors. She's great, and she's very easy. Sounds like a derogatory word, but what I mean is that she's really collaborative. She's really pleasant, and she's very, very talented. So it's really a great combo.
Love that. Yeah.
We have Heidi Armbruster, the famed Wisconsin playwright,
who is everywhere these days.
Everywhere. I know she's really spinning like a top, but she's extraordinary and she's very funny. I'd seen her perform before in her one-woman show that Next Act did, but I have not been close up to a production that she's in before. And she's a great actress, really, really talented and smooth. I mean, she's worked on Broadway and New York and all over the country. Yeah. She's a real pro and from Wisconsin, so she kind of gets the gestalt here, It's not like bringing in someone who doesn't understand what the Midwest is. She's a fellow Wisconsinite. What's the name of that little town she's from? I can't think of it, but maybe I will.
Oh, I have no idea.
You don't have to. It's all right.
Okay.
And I do you have the cast in front of you? I think
I do. You've got David
Sarah
in there.
Yeah, Sarah. I don't know how to pronounce
Sarah Zapian, who is a wonderful actress
She's
that
terrific.
we've had the chance to work with, and I just love her. Yeah.
She's great. She's another one of these really, she's great to work with.
Yeah.
Just easy, talented, and willing, and she's lovely.
Yes, completely.
Mhm.
Agreed. Yeah, this is a really great team that you have.
Oh, it's an extraordinary team.
Yeah.
Lori knows how to cast a show. I know, I think, and everyone wants to work with her. So
Yeah, like everybody's not falling over themselves to work with Laura Gordon. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, why do you, outside of the team and the history and the wonderful productions that Next Act puts together, why do you think people should come and see this show?
I think the material is delightful. And of course, I can be seen as biased, but
be biased. Do it.
I will. I'll be biased. I think it's witty, it's warm-hearted, it's funny, it's interesting, it's festive, it's a little bit bawdy, which never hurts.
Nope.
And I think it's about important things also, which is friendship and honesty and lack of intolerance. So the reverse would be tolerance and acceptance.
Yes. Great. And everybody could use a little more of that in their lives.
Oh, yes.
These days.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether most people know this now, but the Scots were very, very discriminated against and were very low. I think even lower than the Irish in the British totem pole of social acceptability. They were very much looked down on. So there was a built-in intolerance for those from Scotland. The great Samuel Johnson, even though he was a brilliant head of the Enlightenment, also had his intolerances, namely for America. So the subject of slavery comes up, which was hotly debated at that time. And the whole thing about the other, which, I mean, we never stop talking about that. It seems to never end. How we're okay, but you're not okay. Yeah. They're not okay, we're okay. And there has been a lot of that in the world, as we all know. But this is like a particular little kind of an opening up of a moment in time in European history, but also British and kind of by extension, American history, that for me is like quite a fascinating moment in time. And then we have an American woman of color who was studying it in Chicago as a woman in the 1950s, a very brave and sort of tricky thing to carry off. So that theme is carried throughout without it being heavy-handed. I think it's very subtly threaded through with the help of the actors and Laura. And it was my intent. This is not a play about intolerance and race, but is integrated into the text.
It's a lesson that is everybody knows about, everybody is aware of it, but can always use more reminding about it. For sure. Well, great. So if people want to get tickets, you can't go on opening night. I'm sorry to say, unless you have a ticket, you are not going to opening night. So
I just mine.
Good.
Somebody put one aside for me, so I think I'm safe.
I think they do that for playwrights. I think that's real.
I had forgotten to ask, and suddenly I was like, "Can I get in?" And he said yes.
Okay, good. But other persons, go to nextact.org, get your tickets, go and see a wonderful piece.
Please come. It's going to be fun, and the costumes are lovely.
I've seen some of the rehearsal photos, and it looks complete fun from what I've seen as outsider.
It really is fun. It's frolicsome, but with heart and
Good.
mind and wit.
Good. We need that in our lives. We
do.
absolutely need that.
We do.
Well, Madam Kohler, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on this
you.
program today.
You are
And
welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm glad that we got together and made it happen.
I thank you so much for carving out just a little bit of time in your,
No problem.
crazy,
No
crazy opening schedule craziness.
I know.
Yes. Yeah. What a great artist. What a great brain that woman has. I loved that talk with her. Just a really great conversation. Really appreciate all that she offers to the Milwaukee community in as far as her artistry is concerned. Really great. So so go and check that out. Again, not an opening because their opening is sold out. So there you go. But if you're watching this on Thursday, you can rush over to the theater. They might still have some seats left for their preview performance. If you want to see it before anybody else sees it, that's always a fun thing to do. So do that. And so there you go. That's what we got for this week. And I will not be with you next week. I am going to go and see my mother and spend some time over the turkey meatloaf, because that's what we like to have. We like to have turkey meatloaf. I've got a really great recipe from Epicurious that I really enjoy making. And so if you want to Google Epicurious turkey meatloaf recipe, it has a not sun-dried tomato. Is it sun-dried tomato? No, roasted red pepper sauce. If you Google that. I tell you to Google lots of things, but I know that you're on your phones so much. You should do it with some productive things as well. Yes? Yes. Yes, I think you should. And so so that's what we got for this week. And then again, I'm off next week. And then I believe the episode after that will be with Clayton Mortal from Pink Umbrella Theater Company, and he is also an associate artist with The Constructivist. Really great, talented artist, Clayton. He came up with his own one-man show based on A Christmas Carol. So one-man Christmas Carol. So we'll talk about that, and that'll be great. And so that's what we've got. So thank you so much for spending time with me this week, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks here back on You've Got a Thing.